We really wanted to capture the kind of historical and emotional weight of the auction block. The exhibition is called A Monumental Weight, the Auction Block in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And so we wanted to think about what makes this object kind of important in Fredericksburg's history, but also what makes it important as a symbol of the larger history of slavery. I think it's just such an important object, and I'm really glad that it's here at the museum so that we can kind of do all of the contextualization that it really needs when you approach it. But it's been such an honor and a privilege to get to be here and watch people encounter this monumental object. I think this object allows us to kind of conjure up the past in a way that is not always possible when we're talking about the history of slavery. I know that when we were putting together this exhibition, I was standing in here, right where I'm standing right now, and there was nothing else in here we hadn't installed yet. And I stood next to the block and I was by myself, and I felt like I could hear people. I felt like I could hear a crowd, and I felt like I was witnessing history in a way that you really can't always do. And again, I don't think we can ever really know what it felt like to be an enslaved person standing in this spot, but I think this object allows us to kind of connect with them in a way that's really powerful. I hope that the people who experience this block firsthand know that we are thinking of them and know that we've tried our absolute best to honor them in this exhibition. And I have to say, I know it sounds kind of sappy, but I put my whole heart in this exhibit. I wanted to give it my all, and I think that comes through when you come in the space. We really wanted to get people to understand that the lives of enslaved and free Black people in the 19th century did not begin and end at this corner. This was an important corner, and this was an important object, but enslaved people were always resisting. Enslaved people were always thinking about how to negotiate their enslavement, and so we have some aspects of that kind of larger life in this exhibition. On the other side of the exhibit, we have a community wall where we've gathered all sorts of quotations and memories that people have associated with the block, and then people in the exhibit can write their own reflections down on cards that they can leave in a little box, and then I put them up on the wall, and it's been incredible to see the kinds of things that people have left. So actually my office is on the first floor, so I can overhear people coming through the exhibit a lot, and so sometimes I pop out and I just ask them what they think. I never want to kind of impose my own perspective on them, but I've been able to hear some really incredible responses and just make some connections in this exhibition that I think are really important moving forward. I mean, I love local history. I think it's so special to be able to kind of see the larger national trends through these deeply local stories. And obviously the auction block is one of our most powerful stories, but we have so many incredible objects and artifacts on display. Right now on the third floor, we have a really great exhibit called Scene, which is all local African-American artists. So, you can come down here on the first floor and see this object that might give you a really intense emotional response, but then you can go up to the third floor and see some of the amazing work that people are doing right now. And I think it's a really nice kind of connection. I don't know if I really believe in fate, but when I'm standing in this room, I feel like I was the one who was supposed to be here. And, I read extensively on the slave trade when I was in grad school. I read extensively the narratives of people who were enslaved all across the country. And so I think all of that came in and kind of helped me put this together. I was receiving a lot of the same questions when I would walk people through the exhibition before the exhibition was here. And so I decided to put a panel in the exhibit that answers some of those frequently asked questions, like how tall is the block? How much does it weigh? It weighs 1,200 pounds, which is a lot. Why is it on the first floor? It's on the first floor because it weighs 1,200 pounds, and it can't be on any higher floors in the building. But we wanted to make sure that we addressed those questions because we didn't want people to leave being like, oh, I don't understand this, or oh, that was confusing to me. We wanted to be really transparent.
famva.org if you want to find out more about the museum and stop on by here. This is a great museum, and like you say, there's more than the block, but this is a powerful part of the museum.
Yeah, we're so lucky to be the stewards of Fredericksburg's history, and we welcome people to come by and say hi.